All right. I've been asked to step up my game a bit. So hold up a second. I will. Here we go. Very exciting. Woo! What do you guys think? Wait, I need my theme music. Yes, everybody, math time with Mr. Lupos. Oh, thank you. You're too kind. Too kind. Awesome. Okay, that was exciting stuff. All right, let's go on to math again. U2 day 6. Whew. Very excited. What we're doing here is we are proving equalities. So we have a rational expression on one side, a rational expression on the other side. They are equivalent, and we're going to prove that that is the case. So a lot of times you're just going to do things like factoring and simplifying. So if I look at the typed sheet from our notes the other day, I might have something like this, and then on the bottom something like this, and I want to make sure that's equal to this over here. So this is a real simple one. The steps you're going to follow really are this. Number 1, factor. Number 2, simplify. Number 3, complete the question. And what I mean by complete the question, if it asks you to multiply. If it asks you to divide, like these are division questions here with lines like this. Divide. If you need to add. If you need to subtract. Now, the one other thing you want to do is this. Once you're done doing that, you may have to factor again or expand and simplify. Okay, so that comes up a couple times, but most of the time, this will get you to where you want to go. Always stay in your restrictions. So factor on the left, x plus 2, x minus 3. They multiply to negative 6 and add to negative 1. On the bottom, x plus 5, x plus 2. And before I start scratching things out, I get my restrictions of x cannot be negative 2, cannot be negative 5. Plus 2 on top, plus 2 on the bottom. I'm left with x minus 3 over x plus 5. And then you'll see over here, after this is the right side here, the right side, common factor, cross out. And if I had my clapping hands still available, I would hit them. Turn them on. Left side equals right side. Well done. Next up, the fun stuff. Okay, so something like this. This is F. Okay, so if I look at F, 1F, I'm just going to do the left side here. But if I have 4 over 4A plus 4 plus 7 over 7A minus 7, first step is to factor. Can't factor the tops here, but you can factor the bottom, common factor the bottom. So you get a plus 1 on this bottom, 4 over that. And here you get a minus 1 after you take a 7 out of the bottom. Okay, that's a 7. And what happens now, so I common factor this, common factor this. Now I can reduce, I can simplify. I take out a 4 from both sides, left with a 1 on top. So I have 1 over a plus 1 plus, and same thing here, 1 over a minus 1. All right, let me put my restrictions in here and make sure they don't disappear. And then I'm going to add fractions. Fractions, you add common fractions. Very simple. Don't complicate things. You need common denominators. Common denominator, when you have something like this, and you could put a bracket around here if you'd like. I have a plus 1 here and a minus 1 here. I need to add a minus 1. I need to add a minus 1. I need to add a plus 1. I need to add a plus 1. The lowest common denominator is a minus 1 times a plus 1. And then that gives me a denominator, like I said, of a plus 1, a minus 1. And on the top, I have a minus 1. So when I multiply 1 times this, and I multiply 1 times this, that's plus a plus 1, which is 2a over a plus 1, a minus 1. Okay, keep going on the right side, and you'll find out that the left side equals the right side. So just some little things to look for. Other things to look for, definitely in 2a. This is the biggest one here. We did this in class, but I'll do it again. I have this over this is equal to something that is this. And this looks very intimidating, but you must ask yourself, what would I do? I want to add this together. Okay, so I want to add 1 plus a over b, and this is what I did in class. If I want to add 1 over plus 2/3, or I wanted to do something like this, you would make this, what you would say is I need a common denominator. So I'm going to make this over 3. So I multiply this by 3 and this by 3, and I get 3/3 plus 2/3, and you do the exact same thing here. Okay, 1 turns into b over b. Okay, you multiply the top and the bottom by b. I need a common denominator of b. So I multiply the bottom by b, I multiply the top by b, and I get b over b. So now I'm going to add these. So now I have b plus a all over b, and I'm dividing by b minus a all over b. Division question means multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so this is the same as, I'll write it up here. This. Okay, so it's dividing. Okay, and when you divide, that's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'll multiply by the reciprocal, which is this flipped, b minus a. Cancel out the b's, left with b plus a over b minus a. What's your, minus a. Your restrictions on this side, here I had b can't be 0. 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 And here I have b minus a can't be 0. So b minus a can't be 0. Or b can't be a. So you're going to add that in. You do not need a can't be b. It's the same thing. Okay, and there's no restriction on a. Don't add extra restrictions. Okay, so this is a over b here. You can have 0 over something. So don't tell me that a can't be 0. It's not a restriction, and a half mark will be taken off if you do so. So that was that question. The other question that was of interest, I think, to a lot of people is C. So I'll get you going on C. X over 4 minus 4 over x. Okay, same thing. Any question that involves fractions and adding or subtracting, you need a common denominator. My common denominator will be 4x, so I need an x. So I need another x. I need a 4, so that's multiplying. Times this by 4 times this by 4. So this will turn into x squared minus 16 all over 4x. So this is x squared. This is minus 16 and 4x and 4x. And then you go from there. Okay. In this question, what ends up happening is you end up having something like this. Why don't I keep going? So that's the bottom. That's the top, sorry. Sorry, let me do this. That's the left side. Let me just see some here. Okay, so that's the left side. On the right side, you want to divide by this. 1 over 8 subtract 1 over 2x. That common denominator I'll do in red is 8x. So I need an x, I need an x, I need 4. Multiply this by 4, multiply this by 4. And that turns into x subtract 4. So 1 times x is x. 4 times 1 is 4, but it's subtract. All over 8x. So this is what I'm dividing by. So I multiply by 8x over x minus 4. So just make sure you see the question. This might be confusing if you don't have the question in front of you. So this is equivalent expressions 2c from the type sheet. Now we're going to reduce, cancel this out. 8x and 2x turns into just plain old 2. And you end up with 2 x squared minus 16 x minus 4. Now here's the issue, is you think you might be done here, but you're not. Remember I said you want to factor. That's the difference of squares, so that turns into x plus 4, x minus 4. So after you factored, after you multiplied or divided here, you end up with something that can again be factored. So if that's the case, you might have to go to the next step and factor again. So x squared minus 16 is a difference of squares. And that will get me this, and then I can cross it out and end up with 2x plus 4. Okay, and if you do the right side, just expand the entire right side, you'll have the same thing. Or on the right side, you'll end up with this, 2x plus 8, 2 with no bracket, and that's the same as 2x plus 4. Okay, so left side equals right side. Okay, that's about it, really. The rest of the stuff, same rules, okay? So if we're looking at, let's say D, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but if I look at D and I want to know what this is, how do I go from, so if I want to know what this is, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to add these together, and to add these together, you need a common denominator. And the common denominator is going to be x minus 3. So you go x minus 3, subtract 2, x minus 3. So this is now all over x minus 3. This is over x minus 3. This is over x minus 3. Just going to rewrite this here, minus x squared minus 5x. Then your next step would be to expand everything. And this whole thing's over x minus 3. You could have done that earlier also. Just put everything over the same thing. And that's this minus, be careful here, this is negative, negative. So negative 2x. And then the negative is on everything. So it's on, so it's negative 2 times x, negative 2 times negative 3. So that's plus 6. Minus x squared. And I messed this up. Oh, sorry, I didn't mess this up. That's minus all this. So that's minus x squared minus minus 5. plus 5x. Okay, collect like terms. When you collect like terms, let me see if I can expand this. Yep, good. Collect like terms. There's an x squared. There's an x squared. They disappear, cancel each other out. Minus 3x minus 2x. That's minus 5x plus 5x. That's 0x, so they're gone. Okay, I'm not canceling out. I'm just collecting my terms. So 0 x squared minus x squared is 0x squared or nothing. Minus 3x minus 2x plus 5x is 0x. So I end up with this. And that is, that's only part of the question. And then you'll keep going for D and end up hopefully in the same spot as you were, as you have on the right side. Okay. I'll show you the right side a little bit, what you would do on the right side. You have 5 over x minus 5x minus 6 all over x squared. Common denominator is x squared. So I'll just do this in color, x and x. So now I have 5x over x squared minus 5x minus 6 over x squared. Now be careful again. This is 5x minus 5x plus 6 over x squared. So I end up with 6 over x squared. Okay, and that will, so here, this was not the completed left side. Okay, you'll finish the left side, and then you end up with something equal to 6 over x squared. Okay, good luck. Each of these are a little difficult. Just keep things simple, though. Okay, keep it, keep the rules. Okay, factor, simplify, and move on. Take care. Bye.